Hello everyone. I, Miss Pooja Patle, Assistant Professor, Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil, College of Engineering, Nagpur. In today's session, we'll see about the unit testing in software testing and quality assurance subject. Now, what is unit testing? So, in V model, there is a testing phase. There are four testing phases: unit testing, design testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. So, the unit testing is a testing technique using which individual modules are tested to determine if there are any issues by the developer himself. It is concerned with functional correctness of the standalone modules. So the main aim is to isolate each unit of the system to identify, analyze, and fix the defects. So this is about the unit testing. It is a level of software testing process where individual units, components, or the each and every modules of a software or a system are tested. The purpose is to validate that each unit of the software performs as designed so that we should get a proper output, required or desired output. For that we do unit testing. Unit testing involves the testing of each unit or an individual component of the software application. It is the first level of functional testing. The aim behind unit testing is to validate unit components with its performance. A unit is a single testable part of a software system and tested during the development phase of the application software. So, a unit is nothing but a single testable part, single module, single component, we can say. The purpose of unit testing is to test the correctness of isolated code, whether it is correct or not. A unit component is an individual function or code of the application. So, it is a method by which individual units of source code are tested to determine if they are fit for the use or not. Concerned with functional correctness and completeness of individual program units, typically written and run by software developers to ensure that code meets its design and behaves as intended. Its goal is to isolate each part of the program and show that the individual parts are correct. So, unit testing is concerned with the following points, like first one is a functional correctness and completeness. It checks whether the system is correct or not, whether the code is correct or not. Error handling, checking input values, parameters, correctness of the output data, that is return values, and optimizing algorithm and performance. So, whenever the application is ready and given to the test engineer, he or she will start checking every component of the module or module of the application independently or one by one, we can say. And this process is known as unit testing or components testing. Why components testing? Because each and every component get tested over here. Now, why unit testing? Why we choose unit testing? So, in a testing level hierarchy, unit testing is the first level of testing done before integration and other remaining levels of the testing. So, as I said earlier, there are four testing types in V model, testing phases in V model, that are unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. So, the unit testing is a basic and a first level of testing done before integration and other remaining levels of testing. So generally the software goes under four level of testing: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. But sometimes due to time consumption, software testers does minimal unit testing. But skipping of unit testing may lead to higher defects during integration testing. So system testing and acceptance testing, or even during beta testing, which takes place after the completion of software application. Now some crucial reasons are listed. So why we use this unit testing? So unit testing helps tester and developers to understand the base of code. So for understanding the code, unit testing helps a tester or a developer. That makes them able to change defect causing code quickly. The defects come out from the unit testing. Unit testing helps in the documentation. Unit testing fixes defects very early in the development phase, as it is a first level of the testing. That's why there is a possibility to occur a smaller number of defects in upcoming testing levels, because each and every module, each and every single component get tested in unit testing. So many defects are come up rather than the other testing phases. So it helps with code reusability by migrating code and test cases. So here there are types of testing, which are black box testing, white box testing, gray box testing. Now, black box testing is used in application interface, internal module interface, and input output description. While white box testing is functional, executed and checked. Here, functions are executed and checked. In gray box testing, the test cases, risk assessments, and test methods get tested. So, these are the three types of unit testing, which are as black box testing, white box testing, and gray box testing. Now, here, as shown in the figure over here, black box, gray box, and white box testing, the inputs we required and the result we get. The input determined by black box is the requirements we give as an input, and as an output, as a result, we get the actual output compared with required output. Now in gray box, the requirements and key design elements as a input data, and then as an output we get as for black and white box testing. And in white box, the design elements as an input data get converts into and as resulted as the confirmation of expected behavior. So these are the black, gray, and white box testing. So this is the way how it works. So let's say an example for the modules, that is each and every module get tested. So let's say the ATM machine where the amount transfer. So while transferring the amount will need the account numbers, from account numbers to two account numbers, from which account number we have to transfer the money and from which account we have to transfer the money. So for that we have to enter the components like from account number to account number and the amount which we have to transfer. And also we have the keys over there on the screen of the ATM, that is transfer or cancel. So this these are the components in the module, and these all the components and all the modules get tested in unit testing. Also there are some testing techniques in unit testing. These are the data flow testing, control flow testing, branch coverage testing, statement coverage testing, decision coverage testing. So in control flow testing, basically we focused on the code and the path from which a code get executed. In branch coverage, each and every branch in the code get tested. In statements, it covers all the statements in a particular code and it get tested. So these are the testing techniques in unit testing, and this is all about the unit testing. Thank you so much.